Hello, everybody. It's Old Bear from the Old Bear's Den of Bigfoot. Tonight we have a very special guest in Richard Farabee. And we have a co-host tonight in Dirt Road Bigfoot. So without any further ado, we are going to bring them on and let's get the show started. Let's bring our co-host on.
Hey,
What's up,
good
Bob?
evening, Bear. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Yep, I'm ready for a good interview tonight. I've been kind of looking forward to this tonight.
Right. And, we're going to have a good show. Uh, I brought you on tonight for as a co-host uh, because you seem to know how to ask pretty decent questions, and sometimes I get caught up in the information, and so you're going to keep me straight tonight, right?
No pressure, no pressure. And what's going on, Mr. Eric Sapp, Mr. Athos? Let's see. Well, that guy's coming on. Florida Seminole War History. I like this guy. All right. Yep. We're ready to get the show on. Hey, guys, let's get it on.
All righty, let's bring Richard on and get her rolling.
Sounds good.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Richard?
Hey, Richard.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? Y'all hear me well?
Oh,
we're
we hear
all
you
doing
pretty
good.
fine.
All right, this is Old Bear Show, and we got a special announcement at the end of the show. Let's go that route,
Mhm.
okay? Let's go at the end of the show. We got a special announcement for everybody, so y'all stay with us till then, and let's enjoy this. All right, go ahead, Bear.
All right. Well, tonight, Richard, we want to showcase you. Um, you do an excellent job when you're out bigfooting. I've watched many of your videos, uh, and you have a couple of YouTube channels I want you to promote. So why don't you let everybody know what channels you have on YouTube first off?
Tell everybody about the YouTube channels or
Yes.
what? Well, I have a research channel called Bigfoot Florida Guy.
Mhm.
Usually, if you just type in BFFG, it comes up. There are competitors out there, but Bigfoot Florida Guy is the name of the channel because I'm here in Florida, and I would say 95% of my research is here. I'm in South Florida. I'm south of Orlando, but more centrally located. So I'm not the beaches guy or the Disney World guy. I am the woods and swamps and stuff like that. You can see it in the videos. I get in some pretty nasty areas sometimes where I have to wear rubber boots to get where I need to go, or I break a lot of brush to get to where I need to go and stuff like that. So where I live, it's a beautiful area. It's very calm. It's very quiet. Um, I can in 10 minutes I could be downtown, but yet in downtown, when I say downtown, my entire county only has 100,000 people. So versus let's say Broward County, where everybody knows Fort Lauderdale and all that, that's 2 million. See what I'm saying? So to have a county that has 100,000, it's actually very small. That means there's a lot of wilderness. We have a lot of pastures and cows and orange groves and farming. We grow a lot of tomatoes here, not just oranges. A lot of tomatoes, watermelons, stuff like that. So more of an agricultural county, and just a great place to raise kids and have a life. We don't have the crime. I mean, we do have crime, and it's definitely different now than it was when I was a kid. When I grew up here, the major highway that went through the town was a 2-lane road. Now it's 6. So I've watched this place grow in the last 50 something years, and I'm a 4th generation Floridian. So my family's been here for a long time. This is where I plan on being buried.
Well,
And then the other thing I have is everybody knows Johnny Two Bears. He's with Sasquatch Encounter Brigade. We came together well, we've always been friends, but he came to me with an offer to help him and co-host a Bigfoot podcast called Sasquatch Unredacted, and we do that show. We try to do it twice a month. It doesn't necessarily work out that way. We have been really thankfully, thank God that we've been really busy, and we have a show almost every single week. Right now we're doing Thursdays because of Johnny's schedule, but we usually do Fridays. So we'll bounce back and forth to those 2 days. So we try to do one every other week because he still has his research, I still have my research, and we want time to do those things. But yet we've been inundated with people wanting to be on the show and talk to us and stuff like that. So we go 6 weeks straight with a show before we get a weekend break, and then we'll do like 3 shows in a row again, and then have a weekend break. And it's just been it's been overwhelming, but it's been a good overwhelming. It's one of those things you can't complain. And we've had some amazing guests, and we look forward to another. This December will be a year that we started the show, and we look forward to doing this until we can't do it anymore. So we're really pumped about that. So Sasquatch Unredacted and Bigfoot Florida Guy. And also there's Facebook pages with the same title. So if anybody wants to join our Facebook pages, feel free to do that. And we're not a non-monetized channel, so it doesn't cost anything to like and subscribe. So I definitely encourage everybody to do that. So
go ahead, Icebox.
Yeah, let me jump in here real quick. I've followed Richard for a long time, and our story together is it's been a great one. But what I really admire the most is how well Richard, maybe I'm jumping ahead of him a little bit, but the way he does his channel and his shorts, I really love his shorts. Uh, I see all kinds of country, and being from Alabama, nothing but woods and oaks and that kind of stuff. I mean, even the territory I live in now up here in Indiana, it's a little different, but Florida, for where he goes to, it's different scenery. He does a great job in his walks out there. Uh, I try to watch every one I can. I can't catch them all, but I try to catch as many as I can. He just does a wonderful job, and there's a reason why he does that. And I'm just glad that he does, because I get to see scenery, and every now and then I'll find something. I mean, you got to be out there. That's all. It's all it is to it.
and that's what I tell people. You got to be in it to win it, and you have to get out there as often as you can, and be a part of nature and stuff like that. And the shorts, and I explain this to people, is I'm out there for 4, 5, 6 hours, and when I get home, I've got to go through all that footage again to see if
Hmm.
I saw something, because people think what they're seeing on the screen is what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing what you're looking at, because while I'm carrying the camera, I'm looking around. I'm looking around, I'm talking, I'm doing other things. So I always encourage people, watch my video, and if you see something, let me know. See what I'm saying? And it's worked out. There has been occasions in the past where people have found something and said, "Hey," they'll email me and say, "If you go to this time, whatever, 23 minutes and 10 seconds into the video, um, and they'll screenshot it, but to give me the time, because I won't use the screenshot, because I'm not a big picture guy. I want the video. So they'll tell me where to go, and I'll go into that film and I'll find it, and I'll say, oh, okay, that is interesting. But then a lot of times I'm able to explain it and say, I know what that was. See what I'm saying? I was there. I'm president. I see what you see. I do get it, but this is what it really is. Or it'll be, wow, that's interesting. Next time I go out, I'm going to go back to that location and look around a little bit more, see if it's still there, to make sure that it might be a solid object, or check it out to see if there's any evidence in the area. So I really encourage people to do that, to go through the video and say, hey Rick, I saw this, and stuff like that. Because like I said, I've got to edit it down, 5 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. It depends on how I feel that day. And narrow it down to something that's palatable, because we live in an era today where people are short-minded. They want information quickly, and
Mhm.
to sit and watch an hour or a 2 hour or whatever is a lot for somebody. That's why shorts take up so many people's time. They'll watch 1,000 shorts in a row. See what I'm saying?
Well,
They don't really stop and watch an hour-long video. So I try to bring it down to 30 minutes if I can, but usually it's around 40 minutes, 45 minutes. But they got to understand that's 45 minutes of 4 or 5 hours.
yeah.
And then the shorts, The shorts are just the moments where I feel there's nothing going on and I'm just walking to get to my location, or I'm walking to get back out and I'm just filming the forest. And I'll do a 60 second, three or four 60 second shorts, and I'll put some music to it.
Hmm.
People sometimes complain about the music, but hey, it's
Not
my
here.
channel. It's my channel, and it's music that I enjoy, or it's something that I felt at that moment when I'm going through music. I'm like, wow, I really like that. I'm gonna put it on my short because it's my it's my channel. And some people say, oh, like I did a song, and I'm about to be 57 years old, and but there was a song by Lady Gaga that I liked. I thought it was good. You know what I mean? And then I had this guy messaging on it saying, "Oh, that's trailer trash," and blah blah blah. Well, I don't know where you get that from, but just because thank you for listening because you did watch the short. You know what I mean? So, um, but I will take recommendations. If somebody, yeah, I did one for you one time, Icebox. I did do the band Alabama, you know, and a, a while back, and I was hoping you'd pick up on that, But sometimes I'll put something out there, and it's a message to somebody. You know what I mean? I'll do a song, and I won't say nothing to them, but if they pick up on it and say, "Oh," and
I
"Oh, thank you,
remember
sir,"
it.
but
I remember it. Go ahead.
I'll do a special song. But the thing is with the shorts are just entertainment. That's the entertainment side of what I do. It's just
Yep.
to get people interested in my channel, and it gives them an opportunity to see the areas that I'm in, to understand that this is the Florida I know. And there's a lot of when I started the channel, I used to say this all the time at the beginning. I started the channel because there's for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons there's a number of reasons, but one of the reasons was there are people that can't do this. They don't
Mhm.
live in an environment where they can just get in a car and go to a forest, or they have some kind of physical, something physically that keeps them from going in the woods or something like that. Well, they
Yep.
can live vicariously through me, and I take them on my shoulders. I take them out there to see what I see, to enjoy what I enjoy, and that's where the shorts come in. Same with the video. The video is, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. And if anybody, and this is my disclaimer, this is my disclaimer. If you come to my channel to see Bigfoot, you're going to be sadly upset because I out of every 50 times I'm out there, I may not find nothing. See what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We're talking about one of the most elusive creatures out there. Okay, and I go out there because I know it's there and I'm trying to find it. And if you go in the past and you look at older videos, I have found some fantastic evidence. I've gotten footprints and I found some structures and I found some arches. I've recorded some great audio. But for every one of those moments, there's 50 where I didn't get anything. So I just want to prepare people to say, hey, I'm the real guy. I'm the true, honest guy that's going to tell you be prepared. We may not get anything because that is what bigfooting is all about. We've all done it where we'll go to a location and I've been invited. I've been up to Georgia and I've been up to Uwharrie and different places. And you spend a whole weekend. And a prime example is Johnny. Johnny, I went up to see Johnny at the Happy Place, which is a great place that they go to. They've had a group of them had Class A sightings, but I go up there with no expectations. Okay, none, because that is what bigfooting is. If you go out each time thinking, well, today I'm catching it on film or today I'm getting this and this, you're going to be disappointed. See what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time to get what little that we have. See what I'm saying? But I enjoy people coming along the journey with me, seeing the forest, seeing what I'm doing, watching me mount trail cams and stuff like that, and I'm honest in the videos. If I get scared, I let them know I'm scared. I'm quick to say, hey, just so y'all know, I just got spooked. You know what I mean? I just got spooked. Or guys, I just got in an area and I'm not really feeling comfortable right now. You know what I mean? You just get that creepy feeling and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna look around because I'm getting that creepy feeling. But then I'll exit that area and I'll get 100 yards away and feel fine. See what I'm saying? And so I'm honest about my feelings in my videos. So people are experiencing it as I'm experiencing it, or when I experienced it. You know what I mean? I wish I could go live out there, but there's apps where I go. There is no service. Period. None. Once I pull up and park my car, I can't even make a phone call. Okay. So once I get out in the woods, um, I got to be safe. You know what I mean? I gotta play it safe because I do this independently. I do it by myself, and been doing it by myself for a long time. There was a 2 year period that I was with a group that did not work out, and I'm back to being independent again, doing my own thing, doing what I want to do, and doing it the way I want to do it, and stuff like that. And so when I get out there, I let people know, hey, I am by myself. I've had people message me saying, dude, you're stupid. Why are you out there by yourself? It's so dangerous. And I said, I agree with you 100%. This is stupid. You know what I mean? But there's times I lay in bed and I'm like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. That's usually when I get up to get ready to go. And sometimes I'm lazy. Sometimes I'm like, man, I just want to lay here because the bed's so comfortable. But then I think, man, I know this thing is there. I've experienced this thing. I've got to get out there, and it just motivates me. I just get this feeling in my gut, and I get up, I get dressed, but once I'm out there and I'm walking, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. So I want to say hi to Joanne. She is such a sweetheart. She's being really nice. Sharon and we got Sunshine. Sunshine. You
Yeah.
know, you know.
Yeah, I want to do the same thing. Amy Sandra Piper, Emma Johnson, Kenneth. Miss
Sandra's been
Sharon.
around a long time. People don't realize Sandra's been around a long time.
Yeah.
I remember Sandra all the way back when we were doing stuff with Carrie Arnold. So she's been around for a while. So
Yeah.
she knows what's going on. She knows the world.
Yeah. She's been around since I've had my channel on YouTube. So, and that's 2019.
Yeah.
She was one of the first ones to come in on my channel.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart too. And Sharon lives in another country. Okay, I forget
Yep.
where it is. Sharon, put it up there again. I think it's Belgium or something like that. But I can guarantee you, I can set up the channel for that night show. Bam, Sandra's the first one to say hi, guys. She's the first one on there every time, man. Gotta love her. Fantastic.
So when you go out, Richard, and I've watched you go out, quite a few times through your videos. When you go out and you get that gut feeling that, something's not right. I've seen you do it. You mentioned it, but the question I have for you is, when you get that feeling, is it a particular area that you've been to that you keep getting the same feeling, or is it just sporadic?
It's both. There was one that really sticks out is me and another person were out in my research area. It was really weird. This is a neat little thing that happened to us. So there's this one trail that we have to take, and at this time we had never been down to the end of this trail. We've been down it a little ways and stuff, but never all the way down it. And me and him started walking down this trail side by side. It's probably about the trail's probably big enough for a vehicle to drive down, but two people, plenty of room for us to walk shoulder to shoulder. So we're walking side by side and we're talking and stuff like that. And we both got quiet and we were just walking. And I don't know who said it first, but we both looked at each other and said, dude, I'm not feeling comfortable right now. I feel not good, like danger, danger, danger. And then he said or I said, one of us said it first, but the other one agreed and said, yeah, I know what you're saying. I felt it all of a sudden too. So we stood there for a minute. We walked around. We looked. We didn't progress down the trail. We just walked around the area that we were at. And we decided, let's turn around and go back. You got to listen to your gut sometimes.
Right.
So as we're walking back, um, I mean, a 180, we're going right back the same direction we get. And like I said, it's not a very big trail. There was this branch that was laying in the middle of the trail that was not there when we came past it. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And we found it. We both brought it up like this was not here. We just literally 5 minutes ago walked past this spot, and so we started walking around. And what made it different was we were in an area. It was a part of, I believe it was a pine tree, part of a pine tree, and the nearest pine tree, standing at where that stick was, and doing a 360 view around the area, the nearest tree was probably 50 feet away. The nearest pine tree. See what I'm saying? And this is not a bad weather day where it snapped off or blew over there or something like that. It was just laying there. See what I'm saying? So we kind of marked it up as, okay, this is something strange.
Mhm.
We walked past it and didn't see it, but we don't. Man, it's a fresh branch and it's green. You know what I mean? We would have seen it. Um, but it was one of those moments where we had one of those feelings where something wasn't right. And but again, I do have that feeling if I go into an area that I've never been in before, and I chalk
Mhm.
that up as it's something new. I'm not self-aware in this area like I am in other areas. See what I'm saying? When you have an established research, you have a research area. My area is 3,000 acres that butts up to a ton of other areas. So,
Mhm.
but my specific area is 3,000 acres. I probably in the last 2 years or 3 years have only probably checked out 5% of it. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I get used to the area, the spot. Now you have a research spot in that 3,000 acres,
Mhm.
a spot where you found prints or you found structure, or you found something, or you recorded something, and you keep going back to that place for a while until you wear it out, and then you'll move on to another area. Um, and sometimes I'll get into an area I've never been before. I'm not comfortable. Um, so I'll get that feeling, but I got to rack that up just to nervousness, not being self aware for that particular area instead of a spot that I went to all the time. You know what I mean? But when I go to
Right.
an area I've been to all the time and I get that gut feeling, you try to pay attention to it. You try to say, okay, why am I feeling this way now when I didn't feel like this way last weekend? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So gut instinct, my job, things I do for a living, gut instinct plays a lot in what I do. So I use that a lot when I'm in the field. And when something doesn't seem right, doesn't something doesn't feel right, you gotta pay attention to it. It doesn't necessarily mean you're in danger. It just means you gotta pay attention to it. You know what I mean? Because that might be the
Right.
moment something happens. That might be the moment. So,
Man.
but
Well, what's what has been your worst experience while you've been out bigfooting, if you don't mind?
that's easy. That's really easy. And I'm not even including the encounters that scared the crap out of me. I think the worst thing that's ever happened to me was I got lost. And I got way out there, and it was a very swampy area. And
Mhm.
I was taking all the dry areas to keep dry and work my way back. And I think by doing that and constantly changing my direction all the time to follow dry areas,
Right.
um, I must have got discombobulated, and it started to get dark. Where not dark, but you got that point in the day where you knew you only had a couple hours of sunlight left. It's probably
Mhm.
time to start heading back to the vehicle, and I couldn't find my way out. I thought I knew, and I started heading in that direction, and all of a sudden, water got thicker, woods got thicker, and I was like, "This is not the way I came in." So I made that rookie mistake, and I just changed directions again, and I changed directions again, and it just as I was out there, things were getting worse. The swamp was getting deeper, from dry land to about knee deep, in water,
Mhm.
and I was breaking brush where trees were just inches from each other instead of wide open. See what I'm saying? I was getting thicker
Yeah.
and thicker, where I'm pushing stuff apart, So, and again, I have no signal, and I didn't at that time, and technically I still don't, but I didn't have a compass, and because I just had confidence in being out there and knowing where I was
Mhm.
going and stuff like that. So I tried to pull up my phone and pull up the compass on the phone. Absolutely no signal. I'm just getting that little scrolling, eye of death. And
Yeah.
but I knew if I could go east, and I knew where the sun was going down, so I knew what east was. Also looked at the trees. I knew what side the moss was growing on the trees, so I knew, what was north, south, east, and west. So I determined what east was, and I just started going east, and it didn't matter what was in my way. I was going to continue in the straightest pattern that I could possibly go,
Mhm.
and I knew that if I kept going east, I knew there was a dirt road. I knew that without a shadow of a doubt. So I started just doing that and breaking brush and continuing in that direction. And then at one point, I got a temporary signal on my phone. And sure enough, I was heading east. So I was happy I was heading east. But it wasn't a good enough signal where I could pull up Google Earth or something like that to find out where I was. Um, so I started going east, and now it was dark. I mean, I got my flashlight on, and I'm breaking brush, and I'm working east. And then all of a sudden, I heard a car. And that was the greatest thing in the world to hear. I heard a vehicle going down that dirt road, and I just started heading towards that noise. And I finally, as I was getting closer and closer and closer, the water went away. I was more in dry land, and then I saw taillights through the woods. I could see taillights. I was like,
Mhm.
there, I know where the road is. I got to the road, and once I got on the road, I knew I had to go right. That, regardless of where my vehicle was, if I go right, I knew what direction right was, where it was going to end up. And so I hit the road. I started going right, and sure enough, about a quarter mile down was my truck. So I was able to get in my truck, and everything was fine and stuff like that. But I truly thought it was going to be a night where I was going to have to prop my back up against a tree and spend the night out there. So, but
Well, that's pretty fearful to have to deal with.
oh
And
yeah, I would have been the next episode of 411, right?
we hope not.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh, I've, you know, I'm up here in West Virginia, and we don't have swamps. At least I've not found any near me. Um, we got a lot of steep mountainsides and trees and briars and brambles and rhododendron and you name it, we got it. But I've had to spend the night out a couple of times because I got lost, and I'm like you. I don't carry a GPS. I can get GPS signal. I just got to get to the top of the mountain.
right.
But if you starting out in the holler and you look up and you're like, I'm
Yeah.
never going to make it up here to the top of this mountain.
Hmm.
But
It's steep.
I have spent a few nights in my time out looking for Bigfoot on the side of a mountain, uh, sitting beside a tree or on a big rock or something of that nature, uh, building a little fire to stay warm. And I know where you are. I knew where you. I understood where you was. Mentally, it's kind of tough unless you're set
Oh
up.
yeah.
Unless you're set for it, it makes it rough on you.
Well, it was one of those things where I anxiety started to hit. Like, okay,
Mhm.
reality is I'm lost right now. Reality is, Rick, you do not know where you're at right at this moment. Um, and but that attitude comes in is I got to figure it out, and I got to keep moving. I just got to keep going because one, nobody knows I'm out here.
Right.
Nobody knows where I'm at. Even if I said, hey, even if I told somebody, I said, hey, I'm going out researching it today and blah blah blah. Even if they knew the area, they're not going to find me. See what I'm saying? And so I knew I was in a difficult spot, and but again, grace of God, everything worked out fine. I ended up on that dirt road, found my truck, and trust me, I was really relieved, very relieved. but I was angry at myself for allowing myself to get so caught up in what I was doing. I was so into listening and watching and looking. I wasn't paying attention to where I was at. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so I try not to do that. Maybe I should do a GoFundMe, so buy me a nice GPS or something. You know what I mean? You know, because I'm done. I'm not buying any more equipment. You know,
Not for a while.
I've
Yeah.
spent so much money throughout the years, and I just every time I look on something online, I'm like, man, I like that. I gotta kick myself so hard to say no. You don't need it. If you didn't have it
Yeah.
last week, if you didn't have it last week, you don't need it this week. So
I got
Yeah.
a question for you, Richard.
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Uh, I know Richard very well, and he is what I call a true blue boots on the ground kind of a guy. And he's sitting there telling you a story about getting lost and stuff. Richard will go out and camp out overnight in Florida. I'm sure he's not lost at this particular time, but he will go out there and camp out all through the night, then come home the next day, that kind of stuff. He is what I call a true blue out there, boot on the ground. He is checking out things, trying out things, using what equipment he's got. But what I want to know from Richard, you do this by yourself. It could be, I call it rattlesnake territory, whatever, because down in Florida, you never know where them snakes are. One can come in on you at any time. That's a danger in itself. Uh, I think you do have bears, don't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All
A
right.
lot
So,
of bears.
yeah. So you're a very brave man in my book. I mean, I got this place up here. I won't go up there by myself. No.
There's a fine line between brave and stupid, just so you
That's
know.
what I tell people. There's a very fine line. Yeah. But what I want to know, have you had any experiences that night while you were out there in tent camping?
Oh yeah, absolutely, twice. Um, and I've gone on with them on other interviews. Um, but there was I being single. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I can free myself up to do certain things, and I understand people that have families and they got other obligations and stuff like that. Not busting on them. Um, but so I choose very key dates to actually camp, which is it's usually Thanksgiving and it's usually Christmas because there's nobody anywhere. They're all at home. They're with their families. They're at grandma's. They're doing the holiday thing and the family thing. So it really opens up that door that I can go into areas and camp and not be concerned about other people or having to eliminate other people out of my evidence and stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So what had happened, um, and this happened in a very short period of time. I had planned on camping. It was Christmas, and it was 2 years ago, and it was a very distinctive Christmas because it was extremely cold. We knew the late night temperatures. When we say late night, we're talking after 2 a.m. to about 6 a.m. That 4 or 5 hour period, it was going to drop down to 29 degrees in South Florida. So that's pretty cold. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not going to snow, and you're not going to have, our creeks and rivers and stuff. They're not going to freeze, but it's going to be very cold. So, so what had happened was that night, and there was some things that led up to that. But on that night, I was in the tent. I was down for the night, and so I had put the fly. I have a very specific tent where it's screened all the way around. Okay, the only solid part of my tent is from the floor up to about maybe 18 inches. Okay, so I can see 360 degrees around me at all times, and I chose that tent for that reason, so I can see outside the tent at night at all times. Um, but it was so cold, I put the fly on, and the fly covers all that screened in area. See what I'm saying? But I needed to keep the cold air out of the tent, and so I got in my tent and I got down to my bare necessities, if you know what I mean,
Mhm.
because cold weather training tells you don't sleep in clothes. You know, you get down to your skivvies or whatever, and you get in your sleeping bag and a blanket or whatever you're using, both. And so I went to sleep. And so I was sleeping. I don't know what time it was. It was pretty late. It was pretty cold. And all of a sudden I heard something at the foot of at the at my feet at that end of the tent, and it was rubbing the roof of my tent, just rubbing that fly. I can hear it just it's a very distinctive sound when you rub the side of a tent. You know, that nylon gives you a very distinctive sound. So I knew what the sound was, and now I determined where it was coming from. It was coming from the roof. Okay, and it worked its way from my foot all the way down the side of the tent to my head, and then back again. You know, so at that point, I'm pretty nervous. I'm like, oh my god, you know what I mean? So I slowly creep out of my sleeping bag, and I roll it off to the side, and I grab my phone and I grab a flashlight. Okay, because whatever this is, I'm gonna catch it. You know what I mean? And I can steady hearing it just rubbing the roof of the tent. And I don't have trees or anything on my tent that could be rubbing or anything. There's no trees around my tent. I try not to camp underneath a tree in case a branch decides to fall and kill me or something.
Widowmaker. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm at the door of the tent. I've got my phone in one hand, a flashlight that could light up the moon in another hand, and my fingertips on the zipper. Okay, and so I'm sitting there waiting for the right moment to, as quickly as I can, try to get out of this tent. And at that point, I heard my cooler get picked up and walked away with, because I can hear everything in it shifting back and forth. I can hear it like you're walking with it, that things are moving back and forth inside the cooler. So I knew something was walking away with my cooler. Now this is my first night out there, and I'm expected to be out there for 3 days, and that's all the supplies I have is in that cooler. That's it. You know what I mean? So at that point, I'm freaking out, like, oh my god, it's got everything I need to survive. You know. So as quickly as I could, I try to unzip the zipper and get it open. And I jump out of the tent and I hit the flashlight, and it's gone. Whatever it was, dropped the cooler and was gone by the time I could get out of that tent. So I'm in my underwear in the woods with a flashlight and a phone. So if anybody had ever seen me out there, they'd say this guy just flipped the lid. So I'm scanning everywhere with the flashlight. I'm looking in the woods. I'm going around my tent. I see the cooler. It's about 20 feet away from where it was before, which was right outside the tent. Was where I kept the cooler, and in case I needed something in the middle of the night, I didn't have to go far to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm flashlighting around. I'm trying to tiptoe through whatever debris on the ground, grass and stuff, trying to figure out what was going on. I didn't see any prints or anything. It's very hard ground and a lot of leaf litter, so that'd be very difficult. And hey, Steven, how you doing, buddy? So I get back and I take the cooler and I put it in the truck and I shut the truck and lock it. And then I got this nervousness about me that, okay, whatever it was is gone. It's fast. I didn't catch it. Then that creepiness came in. Is like, what if it went up? So now I'm scanning. Now I'm sitting there flashlighting all the trees and stuff like that to see if maybe whatever it was went up into the trees and stuff like that. Didn't see anything. Like I said, I put the cooler back in the vehicle, or put it in the floorboard of the vehicle, and went back to my tent and everything. And I'm not going to say I had a good night's sleep. I think at one point exhaustion finally kicked in. I did finally fall asleep. And when I got up the next morning, I walked around again, checked everything out. Again, like I said, I didn't find any prints or anything like that. I walked around the tent. I looked at the roof of the tent to see if there was anything on the tent itself. I went to the cooler to get something out of the cooler, and there were, and I still have the cooler, deep, very deep scratch mark, like a fingernail or something scratched the side of the cooler. And this is a brand new cooler, because at the time I didn't have one, and I knew I was going to be out there 3 days, so I went out and bought a new cooler. And you can see this. It's about, I don't know, 4 inches long. This scratch, very deep. into the side. Like, I don't know if it was the side of a thumbnail or something when you grab something or whatever. But and there was just some other scratches, but there was one that was just very deep and very very long, like it grabbed it and scraped the side of it. Um, but for the next couple days I was out there, it was completely uneventful. So, and that was Christmas. So the next opportunity rose was in February. So I decided to go back out there in February, and and I got the exact same spot. I set everything up the exact same way, except the cooler. I kept that in the vehicle, and and just proceeded to do my regular thing like I did the time before.
Hmm.
But this time, the one difference I did do was I brought my dog, and I'd never taken my dog out in the woods before. Matter of fact, there's only one video out of all the videos on my channel where you see a short where I have my dog with me, and so I had my dog with me, and again sleeping in the tent, and I brought his bed so he felt comfortable having something he was familiar with. So he was sleeping down at my feet, and but it was warmer weather, so this time no fly was on my tent at all. So I had a complete view all the way around. Matter of fact, I have a picture. I wish I could pull it up where I'm actually laying in the tent, and I took a picture of the sky from me laying down in the tent, which is a beautiful view, and I took a photograph of that. So I fall asleep, no problem. And my dog is a wonderful dog, and never barks, never. Very quiet dog, very passive, very sweet. Um, but what woke me up was my dog was growling, and I've never heard my dog growl in 4 years. At that time that I had the dog, never heard my dog growl one time, and it was at the foot of the at my feet, and it was growling. So I'm a light sleeper, so I look up down at my feet, and I see my dog looking at the window to my left, and it's just steady staring, and it's just got this low growl. It was like it was growling to wake me up, but it didn't want loud enough to be obnoxious. It was like it was
Hmm.
just a low growl. And so I'm watching my dog, and I realize he's looking out that window. So I'm like, okay, there's got to be something there. And so I slowly sit up, okay? And this is before I had a cot. So I'm on the ground. So I sit up, and like I said, 18 inches is as high as the tent goes as far as solid portion of the tent is. So the rest is all screen. So I sit up, and I slowly turn to look out that window, and outside that window there is something there staring at me, you know. And I use the analogy of a, because when I looked back on it and what I could describe it was like the old school days of, when you watch the movies of the gargoyles on the top of the buildings, the statues, how they're squatted down. But
Hmm.
somebody brought up a better analogy, which is a catcher on a baseball team. So that's perfect as a catcher. It was whatever it was. I got the feeling it was squatted down and it was looking at me. But it was so dark I couldn't make out features because it was just dark. It's like at night if somebody's walking down your driveway, you can tell somebody's walking down your driveway. You just don't know who it is until they get closer, and you're like, hey, buddy, whatever. I couldn't see any facial features. I could just see the outline of something staring at me through this window. And so my heart's moving. I mean, I'm just anxiety has kicked in really heavy. So again, I reach down and I grab my flashlight, which I have over here. It's a very powerful flashlight, and I'm like, I'm blasting this thing right in the face, and I'm gonna see whatever this is. I didn't realize that was my biggest mistake. I did not know. It just something dawned on me. It was going to work, but it was after I did it, it did not work because I slowly brought it up, and when I hit the button, all I got was that light back in my face. It just ricocheted
Great.
off the side of the tent right back in my face. I didn't see it; just blinded me, and whatever it was shoved
Well,
my tent, literally shoved that side of the tent in I would say at least a foot. I mean, I saw the whole side of the tent move in, and whatever it was took off. So my dog freaks out. He's running behind me, supposed to protect me, but it's behind me, and I'm trying to get him off of me, and he's all over me. I'm trying to push him off to the side, and I get out. I open up the tent, and of course, whatever it was long gone. But whatever it was, I don't know what it was to this day. But I definitely, when I was looking at it, I could see ahead. I could see the outline of what I would consider a person. You know what I mean? It was
Mhm.
it was shoulders and a head. See what I'm saying? As far as height or anything, I can't tell you. Um, it didn't. It looked like it was bigger than me, but it wasn't astronomical. It wasn't like 4 foot wide and or whatever. It looked larger than me, but that could have just been my perspective at that time when I'm looking at it. Um, but whatever it was it shoved to the tent, took off, and that was an extremely exciting moment for me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Adrenaline was pumping after that. But
Did you uh did you rename the dog Scooby Doo?
no, I just I missed the dog. I ended up having to rehome him after having him. I actually adopted him from Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
and this was back when I was married and I was living in Fort Lauderdale, and my wife was from Puerto Rico, and the hurricanes hit down there, and they were looking to relocate um, animals down there that were displaced from the hurricane. So they had flown a lot of them to Broward County, and so we went and adopted one, and had him. I had him for a long time. He was a wonderful, wonderful dog. But due to my job, after the divorce, I got the dog, of course, and I know my priorities. So so I. But with the hours I was working, some days I was working 16-hour days, 7 days a week, and it was just really unfair for him to wait for me to come home and stuff like that. And when I'm home, I'm tired. I need to get some sleep because in 8 hours I got to go back and stuff like that. And I just one day woke up and felt that if I'm going to be a responsible dog owner, and as much as I love animals, I need to do the right thing. So I found a senior couple that needed a pet, and he's wonderful with people and kids and everybody. So he got a really, really good home. He did. So
Go ahead, Bear.
Richard, you were talking about the experience that you had looking through the side of your tent, and something come to mind. I've noticed this about you. You don't speculate as to what you saw. You said it looked like, you saw a head and shoulders, and, it looked like a human figure. It didn't look much bigger than you. And that's one of the attributes about you that I like the most. You don't jump to conclusions. You try to analyze everything that you see or hear, and you don't make it as it's Bigfoot every time.
correct.
And I applaud you for that because in this day and time, everybody wants to go, oh, they see a stump and it's a Bigfoot.
Right.
Uh, and but the question I have for you, if you did speculate, what do you think was there?
Uh, it's hard for me to go there.
I know, I
I can
know.
look I can look at it and say, okay, be, you know, whatever it was definitely hominid. It was
Mm-hmm,
either some dude that should not be out there late at night where I'm at, you know
mm-hmm,
what I mean? Or it falls in that unexplained area. And the reason why I don't, and a lot of people they watch my videos and stuff like that, and I never ever claim Bigfoot because I didn't see it do it. You know what I mean? If I find a tree structure or I find a footprint, I will document it. I will measure it on camera. I will do everything, but I let the viewer decide on what they think it is. I I don't want to lead anybody into what I think it is. Okay. Now I can walk
Mhm.
away going, I think I know what that was, but it's my opinion. I'm not an expert, and it's my opinion don't matter. I want them to form their opinion on what I showed them
Mhm.
and what they think it is, and I don't make any claims. So on that incident, the whatever it was head and shoulders. That's what I could see because the rest of it, was low enough that there was no more background to light it up, so I couldn't see the rest of the body. Um, I know it was a physical thing because it pushed my tent. See what I'm saying? So, what it was, I don't know, and I don't want to make claims. But what I can say is at that location, there in the past 2 years, there has been three Class A sightings. And they're documented Class A sightings in that location. So I'm literally within 100 yards of those sightings. So I'm in that vicinity. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, so when you kind of put everything together, you can draw conclusions. I just don't because my goal, and I've said this 1,000 times, is I need to catch this thing. That's why I'm always running film because I need to catch this thing on film in motion. When you catch something in motion, you're able to answer a lot more questions about it than a still photo. And we all know we've been around a long time. Photos just don't cut the mustard anymore. It just doesn't. So now I'm not saying film is it can't be debunked or people are not going to believe regardless, but it's one step higher than film or than a photo. So the
Mhm.
Patterson Gimlin film, for example, there's been a lot of things that were answered just by it being in motion. You're able to tell body structure and hip structure, and they were able to by its surroundings figure out heights, and you can figure out just by a simple navigation mathematical problem called time, speed, and distance. You can figure out how fast this thing is going. So to me, motion, having something caught on video is the most important thing. And as a researcher and now as a podcast host, I get people that send me stuff or send me a photo and stuff like that. And it's really frustrating because photos just don't cut it anymore. There's
Mhm.
just so much junk out there. There's so many people out there that are trying to get their 15 seconds of fame. They want to put this out there and claim this and claim that. And so I stopped doing that years ago. I don't make any claims. And you can go through 400 and something videos on my channel, and I will not claim anything. I just, like I said, here's the evidence, and I'm a forensic guy, okay? And I know this upsets people, and I'm not here to upset anybody. Everybody has their opinion, everybody has their belief, and I respect that. I don't dislike anybody because they have a different belief than me. Period. I don't. I've got people that I do my own peer review with. That when I have evidence, I send it to them. If they don't agree with it, or they don't like it, or they're like, "Nah, I think this is bullcrap," I don't get mad at them, and I don't disown them, and they're not my friend anymore because they don't agree with me. That's childish behavior. I respect their time that they've been doing this. I respect their intellect, and then I'll say, okay, I see your point of view, and I'm moving that off to the side. I won't present it to anybody because if it doesn't even pass my peer group, then it's definitely not going to pass the public's peer group. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so I hold myself at a high standard and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm a forensic guy. I need to see it, measure it, feel it, collect it, record it, whatever. Those are all forensic things. If it's audio, video, whatever you have, that's all forensic evidence that proves the existence of this creature. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, all the other stuff, all the other stuff that we know that people try to believe in and stuff it's I love this quote, and I've used it 100 times, and I always give Dr. Jeff Meldrum the credit for the quote. But he made the comment: "Is you can't prove an unknown with an unknown." Okay, and that is so true. You can't sit here and say they do this or they do that or they're capable of this, capable of that without any receipts proving it. See what I'm saying? It's real easy for me to say something and say it as fact when it's I have no validation for it whatsoever. See what I'm saying? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and a good prime example is we just had a guest on the show, a wonderful guy. It was his very first time ever actually coming public with his account, but he had a father there, a brother there, and his brother's fiance was there. So they all encountered the same thing. Well, he's stepping forward because he's got other people backing him saying we saw the same thing. Well, that's great evidence when you've got other people backing it up saying
Mm-hmm.
we saw the same thing and stuff like that. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a claim that this creature can do this or that or it's able to do this or that without any proof. I've got to have, I know people are into that spectrum of Bigfoot and I get it. I understand. And but there is no there I've yet to see what bridges it together. See what I'm saying? You two truths can be in the same spot at the same time. See what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But be unrelated and be completely unrelated. See what I'm saying? I can see a chupacabra in a UFO, but are they related? Did I see the chupacabra come out of the UFO? Did I see the UFO come and pick up the chupacabra? Two things can exist. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you experience an orb, and I think orbs do exist, I truly believe orbs do exist. Okay,
Right.
but are they Bigfoot related? Because you'll hear somebody say, "Well, I saw an orb, and then 30 minutes later, I heard a wood knock." Okay, what bridges those two together that you know makes them together? See what I'm saying? They both
Yeah.
truly happened. They're both existed at that time. You did see an orb. You did hear a wood knock, and I believe that. But what bridges the two together? See what I'm saying? And that's
Mm-hmm.
as a forensic person, that's now you have that question. And that's why we're researchers and investigators is we want to find that bridge. See what I'm saying? We want to find what puts things together. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um, I can document footprints. You know what I mean? And I can measure it and say this is 15 inches long. It's 6 inches at the ball and 4 inches at the heel. That's a large footprint. Okay, but I did not see what left the footprint.
Right.
Okay, now I can assume and say due to its size and due to this, it has to be this. See what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that until I get now. You can get accumulation. All of a sudden, I got a footprint, but then I'm following the footprint in the direction it went, and I find hair on a tree. Then I continue to follow the footprint, and I find, you know, a structure, or I find something else. See what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
what investigation's all about: is finding all the evidence and trying to put it together to come to a conclusion. You can't just have one piece and that's it. See what I'm saying? You can document that one piece and put it off to the side, and in hopes to find more pieces. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I do is I go out there to try to find more. It's like you were an avid deer hunter. I used to be an avid deer hunter. That's what got me into this was an encounter while I was out looking for deer.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking for a deer location, you're looking for signs. You're looking for
Right.
rubs. You're looking for scrapes. You're looking for prints. You're looking for sheds. You're looking for food sources that deer like. You're looking for all this stuff to say, this is a good area to put my deer stand because deer are coming through here. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now the only mathematical thing you got to find out is what time are they coming through there? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You know, so you took a number of different things to come up with that conclusion. But if I just
Mm-hmm.
found one rub, but I didn't found anything else, see what I'm saying? That's not enough. Or if I just found the hoof prints of a deer, not enough. See what I'm saying? I'm looking for a multitude of things to say. This is a really good area. They're visiting it frequently. They're spending a little bit more time in this spot than they are anywhere else. So that makes for a very, very good hunting area. It's the same with looking for Bigfoot. I use those same skills when I'm looking for Bigfoot. I'm looking for accumulation of evidence, and I found areas and that all these things come together, and I'm like, this is a good spot. So then my initial thing is I'll leave audio, and I'm not a big audio guy because not I think audio is fantastic. It's just it's so time consuming to go through afterwards. You got to if you record for 36 hours, you got to listen to 36 hours, and so it's really time consuming. But I'll leave audio out for a week. I'll come back, I'll get the audio, I'll review the audio, and then I'll hear things and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that was interesting, or that was really cool, or that was whatever. And then at that point, if you decide if you want to put trail cams up, or you want to, some people like to put bait out, if it's peanut butter or apples or whatever it is and stuff like that. I don't personally do that, only for the simple fact is, um, I don't want to fit into their schedule. I don't want and a lot of people do it and they got great success. I'm just talking about me, okay? Because I don't feed any animals in the woods, none. I don't feed squirrels. I don't feed rabbits. I don't feed deer. I don't feed none of them. I want them to continuously to be able to fend for themselves naturally. So I don't want to bring them out there and leave it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But you can leave up trail cams and stuff. We did it one time. We put up some trail cams in a very viable area, and we put apples out in front of the trail cams. So we go back and we review the footage, and the apples are gone. But there's no footage of anything that came in and got the apples. Nothing. But the apples are gone. And we piled I don't know, I think it was like 3 or 4 apples together. So whatever had come in, it was right in front of multiple cameras. They were all focused in this one area. We got nothing. Nothing. See what I'm saying? But the apples were gone. You know what I mean? And when we walked in, we saw, hey, the apples are gone. We're going to have something on the trail cams. We can see on one photo apples. Next photo, no apples. Can't explain it. Don't know. See what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and say, well, Bigfoot ran by at Mach 3, or he cloaked himself, grabbed the apples, and took off. I have zero evidence to support that. All I can tell you is the apples are gone. That's what I do. See what I'm saying? And I can say I didn't catch anything on the trail cam. You know what I mean? So, which is weird because I had my trail cam out not too long ago, and I didn't feel like hiking all the way out there to check the trail cam. Now, I was running on solar, so I wasn't worried about batteries or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure the trail cam was still on the tree because I have come out and found them ripped off the trees and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure the trail cam was still in place and everything was good because I'm still going to leave it out there for a few more days. So I decided to fly the drone. So I flew the drone out there, flew it right to the camera. I lowered the drone within 3 feet in front of the camera, and I only had the trail cam maybe 3-4 feet off the ground, and I flew it right in front of it and looked at the camera, kind of moved it around, looked at the camera, came back, and when I got home, I checked the footage. So I'm looking at the camera. Everything's good to go. Everything looks good. So when I did go out to get the SIM card out of the trail cam, and I'm going through, and there was over 100 videos on this thing, and some of it I posted. You see a storm blow through. It was a really bad storm and all that, and lightning and all that, And I got some really great knocks that were on the video, some interesting knocks and stuff like that, but never saw my drone. Out of any of it, I never saw my drone one time in any of those photos. I went through those photos repeatedly. No drone footage whatsoever. It never caught my drone flying it right in front of the camera, 3 feet from it. It never caught my drone. So when you look back at the Apple situation and stuff like that, all it can do is rack it up is, like I've told Icebox, we have a lot of tools in our tool bag to do this job. Yep. Not one is perfect. Not one does everything you need it to do. You have to use multiple things. See what I'm saying? This does this, but this does this better. Or this does this because this one doesn't do that. So you have to have multiple things. See what I'm saying? Well, evidently trail cams, and even I got a pretty expensive one, um, is fallible because I was there. I know I flew the drone right in front of it. I'm looking at the camera and it never picked it up. So I can't explain that. Why it didn't pick it up. So just weird stuff. You just rack it up and put it in that unexplainable category. Is all I can do.
I got a question for you. And I know you, Richard. You will not come on there and say, "But this is what Bigfoot done. This is that," and you try to gather evidence. And I think you're like me. You try to put it all in a pile and try to get similarities. I don't try to do that as much as analytical as you do, but I will listen to other people's stories. I try to tell people. I've invited them on the show, and they go, "Well, my story's not all that great as other people's." And I said, "You don't understand. It's an accumulation of information. Your best accounts are going to be your eyewitness accounts." I have a theory about cameras and stuff like that, and they're great and they're fine, and I use them all the time too. But it's other people's stories because Bigfoot doesn't seem like it wants to be filmed. It don't want to be a movie star,
Right.
And when I get Mr. Corey that you had on the other day, it was an eyewitness account. It wasn't nothing filmed. It wasn't nothing else. But the things that he says and what he talks about, the situation, I always tell people I try to get the story before, during, and after, just about like everybody else does, so you can gather up what's going on.
Right.
So my question to you is, in your accumulation of evidence, let's put it that way, evidence of something, do you oftentimes come to the conclusion that this is and I ain't gonna say is a Bigfoot, but is a possible Bigfoot, and it kind of puts you on edge? Does that ever happen to you?
I can truly say that with the incidences that I've had, and I've had a few of them in the last 20 years, and with the evidence that I've collected, the accounts that I've listened to, there is no doubt 100% this thing exists. There's no doubt. I will live the rest of my life knowing that this thing is absolutely 100% real. It is there. Um, Now, as far as what it is and everything else about it, we don't know. Until there is a long term study of this species, there's always going to be unanswered questions. But with that said, I can honestly say so when somebody comes to me with an encounter, trust me, I want to listen. I want to hear it. That's why we do the podcast, because we want to hear these people's accounts, and we also want to hear researchers and hear their evidence. See what I'm saying? It sometimes is a little piece of evidence that brings two researchers together. See what I'm saying? Because hey, I experienced that exact same thing, and before you know it, you're exchanging pictures and video and or whatever, and you're like, holy crap, look at this, identical footage, identical. So and we're at totally two different locations, totally different states and stuff like that. So I love hearing that because that all goes into the brain bank. That all goes into um, building the evidence for this thing. You know what I mean? And like I
What,
said, 100%, I believe this thing is absolutely. I've encountered enough. I've dealt with enough, and I've accumulated enough evidence and stuff like that. And I've surrounded myself with people that I really, really, really highly respect in this field, and when they say, this is what I saw, this is what I had, I will believe them. Until proven otherwise, I will believe them. So you put that all together, we have something here. See what I'm saying? Um, and you've had really famous people and important people say the same thing. There is enough evidence here that money needs to be spent to investigate it. You know what I mean? And it just seems that the money being spent is from independent investigators like myself and everybody else. We're self funded. We spend money that we don't have on stuff that we don't need. You know what I mean?
mhm.
But we're out there doing it because we've had encounters or we've had things happen that tells us this thing is there. It needs to be investigated. Somebody has to do it. If universities or the government or scientists or whoever is out there don't want to do it, well, it falls into our hands. So that's why we're out there. That's why we're doing it and stuff like that. But like I said, I try to stay level minded, level headed, focused, and
Mhm.
I stick to forensics only. See what I'm saying? Um, I believe in UFOs. I've seen some very spectacular things in the night sky, but I'm not out there researching that.
No,
You know what I'm
no,
saying? I
yep.
can see it and say, wow, that was amazing. I'm so thankful I got to see that. Moving on because I'm focused on something else. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, if I'm in the woods and I see Bigfoot to my left and the UFO over here, wow, but I'm focused on the UFO, the Bigfoot now because that's what I'm focused on. You know, I don't want to put a whole lot on my plate. See what I'm saying? I want to focus on one thing and one thing only, and move forward. Because I've seen some great stuff. I mean, I was in the military, and you know, when you're in the U.S. Navy and you're out in the middle of the ocean, and there is nothing that hinders your view of anything. Okay, where you can't tell the difference between the sky and the water. It's so smooth, glass smooth, and you can't tell the difference. And it feels like you're floating through space because the reflection is so clear on the ocean. See what I'm saying? And when you see something move in the sky, it's obvious. See what I'm saying? It's obvious. You can't. There's no, lights in the city lights or any kind of light pollution. There's nothing. You can't see the hand in your face. I was sitting there one time on the fantail, chilling out, and there was a guy standing right beside me, and I didn't even know it because you can't see. But all you see is all these stars. You know what I mean? So I've seen some fantastic things. So I believe there are some great things out there that are unexplained. I'm just focused on Bigfoot. That's the
So am I.
one thing. See what I'm saying? And I've been asked what is the out game? What is the out for you? And mine is when this thing is proven, there's no shadow in anybody's mind anymore. I'm taking up fishing again. I'm going fishing
Yeah.
this weekend. That's what I'm doing. So
Now, your main goal right now, is it not a 10-second video?
10 seconds. That's all I want.
That's all you need. You ain't
That's all I
greedy.
need. I'm not greedy. I tell everybody all the time, Sasquatch is very selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He ain't got nothing going on in his life. He's just walking through the woods, and he can't give me 10 seconds. That's all I want. Just give me 10 seconds, man. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know, and I'll be happy with that. You know, because as soon as I get something solid like that, like I'm on a good trail and it just walks right out in front of me because I'm filming, and I'm able to go home and download that and show everybody. I'm done. I'm done. Whatever they want to do with that footage, if they want to destroy it or criticize it, whatever, I did my part. I did it. It's there. Do what you will. But now I'm moving on to something else. You know what I mean?
And I want people to know that a lot of times when I feel like I found some evidence, me or my wife or whatever may, uh, be a questionable possibility. These two guys right here, Old Bear and Richard, are the first two that usually sees whatever evidence or whatever I think may be of significance. I run it by these two guys before you ever see it on the channel. Not that I'm worried about this or that. It's because, like you said, you got to run it through your peers. And if both of these guys agree that no, it's nothing, you just need to move on from that, you're not going to see it. You know, people make mistakes, and I'm lucky to have these two guys and some others, but these two will see it before anybody else. These are my go-to guys right here. Uh, and that way, if they say if one says yeah, the other one says no, or vice versa, it's a possibility you will get presented with it, you know, and let you decide as far as my channel goes. And I feel like that's the best way to go. You run it through the people that do this all the time, and uh, that way you're not just out there shooting more air into the wind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But anyways, I wanted the chat room to know that you two guys are my go-tos before they ever see it. So when I do present it, there could be some validity to it. It's left up to you to have your own opinions. But these two right here are my guys.
No, I appreciate that. You know.
Yeah, I do too. Um, so, Richard, there was we've been here almost an hour and 15 minutes now, and we kind of have an announcement we would like to make this evening. And formerly, I want to let everyone know that if you come to Salt Fork Primitive Campground on October 3rd and hang around, that man there in the top corner, my very good friend, and more like a brother than anything else, will be speaking. And
Don't run folks off now.
you see, Richard, what I have to deal with every time I talk to this man on the phone. He won't take a compliment. I mean,
I'm just happy he's in a good mood after Alabama played today.
well, I wasn't
Roll
going to say
Tide,
nothing
everybody.
about Alabama, but but anyway,
I wear it proud, baby. I wear it proud.
Icebox will be the first speaker, and we have Brian Barber coming from Michigan, and he's going to be a second. And I would like to introduce to the audience, to all of my friends here on my channel and the ones on Icebox's channel, to the third and final speaker. And we're saving you for last for a reason. You have a wealth of knowledge about what you've seen and what you've heard when you've been out bigfooting. And I just want everybody to know that we are privileged to have you at Salt Fork on the 3rd of October this year. And we're going to love every minute of it.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. It'd be a good time. Any opportunity to go to another location that's considered a hotspot is always a good thing. To get out there and experience another area, another location, another terrain that I'm not familiar with, and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about it, and get an opportunity to talk to the people there and be a speaker and just go over what I've learned and what I've experienced. So I look forward to it.
Well,
I'm sorry. Let me throw a caveat in there.
mhm.
Now, this is all depending on Richard is self-employed contractor. I can't say what of and what with and all that kind of stuff, but he runs his own company and he has people that he has hired. So all his possibilities of being there depends on that. If everything is fine at work, he will be there. I just want everybody to know, yeah, we're announcing Richard is coming. We try to keep it down on the low, just in case, but we feel confident that he's going to be able to make it, and it still could be a chance. It's over a month away, yeah, we wanted to make sure that people knew he was coming, but there is a caveat just in case. We don't want anybody thinking anything, because he's got to pay bills. So if something happens and he don't get to show, that would be the only reason why. I just wanted people to know that before we moved on. Go ahead, Barry.
Well, I tell people all the time, the only thing that prevents me from doing anything is work and health. So,
yeah.
Well, I want to send a message to the guys that work for you. Do not quit. If you do, we're going to find you and send you out into the swamps with the Bigfoot.
Cut your fingers off.
Never know.
Yeah, I mean that's usually my biggest issue, is just maintaining the contract, in that I have the the personnel there to stay in compliance. So, and when it doesn't work out that way, it all falls in my lap, and I'm the one who has to step up and make sure that we're meeting that criteria, and that usually ends up me working a lot. A lot of people that follow me on the podcast or on the or on my research channel know that, where I'll tell them, I say, God, I've been working 7 days straight, 16-hour days, and I haven't been out in the woods because I'm working. I'm doing this, and this, because I don't get paid to do Bigfoot. It is in the end, and if you want to classify it as anything, it's a hobby. See what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I'm self-funded. I do it myself. I do it like other people go play golf.
Yeah.
This is what I do. I go out there and enjoy being out in the wilderness. So when I can fit it in, I fit it in. And there's things that prevent me from doing it. Like right now, it's just the heat. Now
Yeah.
temperatures are getting a little bit better, but it's our rainy season. And the last thing you want to do is be stuck in the woods in a lightning storm. And we're the lightning capital
Mhm.
of the world. So weather will hold me off. But as soon as weather's good and temperatures are good, and mosquitoes aren't so bad, because our rainy season is when the mosquitoes come out. Um,
Yeah.
Florida's a very, very difficult place to research in. It has a lot of challenges to get out there and research, and any Florida researcher will tell you the same thing. Let alone weather and mosquitoes and stuff like that. There is a lot of things out there that want to do us harm. They want to do us harm, and people ask me all the time, "Man, what are you scared of the most out there?" It's wild hogs, it's pigs. Those are the things that worry me the most. A bear will pretty much run from me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
A Florida panther, I won't even know he's there. You know what I mean? But a hog, he will come after you. And at 56 years old, I don't climb trees like I used to. So um, and the thing is when a hog gets you, and if he kills you, they eat you. There's
Yep.
nothing left of you. The whole group will come in and they devour you. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I worry about that most of all. And of course, you got rattlesnakes, we got water moccasins and stuff like that you have to worry about. But you can do stuff to prevent those things, like wear snake boots and gaiters and stuff like that. But yeah, when it comes to a hog, man, I've seen the damage they can do to somebody very fast, very quickly. They can cut you really fast, and I'm talking cut you to the bone. Um, so those are the things I worry about the most of all. It's not Bigfoot. I think the biggest fear is transients. Where I'm at, we don't have homeless people here too much. They're in town near stores and stuff, so they can get something to eat. They're not out here in the woods like you see in other places where they got tents and stuff. We don't see that, but there's crazy people out there. We live in a very, very crazy world. And I had one. You heard me talking about that one time. I'm out there in the woods, man. I'm doing my thing, and I heard this noise. I just heard like jabber, like talking, like yelling, but it
Mhm.
was so far I couldn't make out words. I couldn't figure out what it was. But I was getting closer because I knew there was a trail up there. I knew I was heading in the right direction. And I would finally get out of the woods, and there would be a trail there. So I finally break woods, and I get on that trail, and it's this guy um, having a very heated and upset conversation with a tree, and he's screaming at this tree and F this and F that and all that. Then he turns and he sees me coming out of the woods. So we're eye to eye looking at each other. And I just walk right by him and like, have a nice day, you know what I mean? And I just kept on walking. And so, I mean, you can run across some pretty weird stuff out there that's not Bigfoot related that, yeah, could possibly do you harm, I don't know. So,
Let me tell you what kind of friend I am. All right. We got Richard coming. And I told old Bear last time we was up in August, and we are going to do a show probably next week about the camp out guys. So don't fret about that. We got some interesting things we would like to discuss with you guys of the whole weekend.
Mhm.
It was odd. It was weird. It cost me a lot of money. I'll tell you that much. But
Yeah,
y'all,
it did cost you a bunch.
yeah, y'all gonna get a kick out of all this. But anyways, I told old Bear, I said, this is our camp out. I want to camp to where I want to camp this time.
Mhm.
This past time, Bear put me in a really good spot. I enjoyed it, but I got a place that I want to go check out. And it's been known at this particular spot that Bigfoot likes to cross. And I said, well, that's why I'm here, to get some kind of an experience. Let's go that route. So I got Mr. Richard is going to be camped right next to me. I got him right next to me. That's where he's going to be. So I'm gonna go buy me a bottle of preferred stock and maybe put out a couple of apples or something planted around his little tent, and we'll see what happens. That's the kind of friend I am. Love you, Richard.
I'm all in it. As long as I'm near a bathroom or a place that I can go to the bathroom, I'm all right. I'm
That
okay,
is,
man.
Hey, I'll give you a roll of toilet paper. There's Woods.
Yeah.
Oh Lordy, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I really, I can't tell you guys how much I look forward to this October camp.
Well, Richard, if it gets too bad, we can always move you up there closer to me. And there is bathrooms. You can use the camper or the
No,
two outhouses that are right behind me. So
I told him, I said, we sat down. I said, the only concerns I had was not missing my flight to come back because
mhm,
I have to go to work. And as long as there's a place I can go to the bathroom, a place I can shower, because I don't want to stink when I get on that plane to fly back to Florida. You know what I mean? I don't want people
I
to
understand.
where are you? Who are you? And look like a homeless guy that's been out in the woods for a few days. So, um, but I'm coming light. I know because it's so far and I got to fly and stuff like that. I won't be able to bring the equipment that I want to bring into I want to use up there and stuff like that. So, you know, um, so I might be bumming off people saying, "Hey, let me see your binoculars," or
Hmm.
"Hey, let me." I might be able to bring a small thermal. I won't be able to bring the one I want, but I have the Psionics black, and it's small, and it's a
Hmm.
monocular, very expensive, But I'll bring that, and maybe some audio equipment or so. I don't know, maybe a digital recorder or something. Whatever I could fit, because I'm trying to come up there easily and just bring a carry on, so I can
Hmm.
minimize everything and be able to get there and get back without having to waste a lot of time and stuff at luggage and different things like that. And I know it's a drive. It's a drive from me to the airport because I don't live near airports. Um, and then I know it's
Uh,
a drive when I fly there to get to the campground and get back
Yes.
and stuff like that. So I
we
want to
got the
go.
same. We got the same equipment, so don't forget to bring your SD card or whatever to run the night vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of recorders and maybe the thermal, that small thermal you're talking about.
Yeah.
That'd probably be best.
I'm gonna try to see what I can fit all in that one bag because I still got to bring clothes for a couple days and towel and all my
Well,
toilet,
don't worry about a towel. We
stuff like that.
we'll cover you with towels and washcloths. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
So
Yep. So, and there are stories, guys, that we have not mentioned about Richard because I want to leave him some stuff that he can talk about at the camp out. But there are some more very interesting stories that I'll go over with Richard and see if he doesn't mind talking about. But that's just going to be, hey, come to the camp out if you want to find out. By the
Yeah.
way, Miss Kimberly, I feel you. We will talk about that later on the football show. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got for Richard tonight.
yeah, if anybody doesn't have any questions, I mean, I don't know who
Yep.
all is in the
Yep.
chat room now, but if anybody in the chat has a question, but
There was a couple questions, and I want to go back and revert. Is that okay, Bear?
Sure. Go back
Okay.
to wherever you want. That's why I got
Okay.
you here.
Okay. Mr. Kenneth, I don't know if he's still here or not, but he said heard the Everglades had wildfires. Have been out there or have been out to see if it's causing pushing the boogers around. Do you think that's got any effect with the wildfires?
well, the thing is with the Everglades is it's so huge. I mean, it runs from one end of the state to the other. I mean, it goes across the entire south side of the state. It's massive. So if there's a any kind of um, fire or something like that, it's so wetland that it'll probably be pretty contained. It's not going to burn like you see in California, where it's going to burn thousands of acres and stuff like that. I really don't concern about it. Now we have a thing down here called muck fires, where if we have a lightning strike or anything like that, or the remnants of a forest fire, we have underground. We have what we call muck. It's like a peat moss underground. Well, that will catch fire, and there's no way to put. It's got to burn its way out. You can dump water on all you want, it doesn't put it out, and you literally see the ground smoking. See what I'm saying? And we haven't had a muck fire in quite some time, but as far as massive forest fires and stuff like that, we really don't deal with that too much, regardless of how dry we are. But because we do get a lot of rain, when the rainy season starts, we get a lot of rain.
Okay. All right. Our next question is What are your thoughts on them traveling through underground tunnels? Is that anything that you might would
I
see
can
down there?
I can only discuss my, with Florida. We don't have systems like that down here in Florida.
Didn't think
We don't
so.
even have basements, and the reason why is our soil is so soft, it would
Mhm.
just continuously cave in on itself. Florida is on limestone. Okay, it's not granite. It's not hard solid things. Now in North Florida, up in the Panhandle and stuff, they
Yeah,
do have some caves and stuff. But you are getting into the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So
yeah.
when you get further up north and stuff, they do have some cave systems and stuff like that. But down in South Florida, Central Florida, stuff like that, we don't have those things. We have springs and stuff like that, and you could dive down in the springs, and there's some lime rock caves and stuff like that, that fish and alligator stuff go into, but nothing that I would consider a viable place for Bigfoot to hide or go to and stuff like that. I think they're pretty limited on that. I think it's like ourselves. It's tree cover and stuff like that, places like that to get down in and cover them. Any kind of structure that they can either manufacture or it's pre done. Nature created a really good structure. When a tree falls, the top of the tree becomes like a bulb, and you can go inside of it. It'll protect you from the rain and stuff. I've documented some of those that are really good areas that if I was stuck out there, that's where I would go. I would get inside one of those and chill out and stuff. So
Okay. All right, sure. And also wanted to know, do you ever put cameras out pointed at your campsite?
I have. It's a really cool thing. I wish I had it right here, but I have a body cam that I would use for work, and it has a magnetic base. So it's two magnets, one inside, my plate carrier, and one on the outside, and they snap together, so they don't go nowhere. And on that, you mount the camera. Well, I can put that on my tent. See what I'm saying? And I usually,
Mhm.
when I camp, I'll put that on my tent, and it has a remote. I can turn it on and off. So if I hear something or something like that, I can hit record, and it'll start recording. See what I'm saying? So I do on occasion do put something in my area. Now what I've done is I've purchased some stuff to help do that better. I have a solar powered light that is motion activated. So if something comes in my camp, bam, this light's going to come on. So now I'll be before it realizes, and this light comes on, I'll catch it. See what I'm saying? I'll see it. Little things like that. So as we get better and better. And, we find tools that we can use. Like I said, there's no, other than my phone, that's the best tool I got that I can use all the time because it does
Okay, you're freezing up, but you'll
multiple
get back here in a minute.
things. So, example
Yeah.
of our soil and how it's just not conducive to having tunnels and caves and stuff like that. It's just not. Like I said, I'm in farmland. You know,
Okay. Linda wants to know. She lives in western central Florida. Do you research on this side of the state?
well, there's some areas on the west side that are very popular. Of course, we have Ocala National Forest and we have the Green Swamp area. Um, I've been invited to both of those on a different occasions. I have not been. I've driven through this very creepy place. The only reason that I haven't been up there yet, and it's going to happen, is it's a long drive. It's a couple hour drive for me to get there, research, and then drive back. Um, but it's inundated with a lot of researchers, a lot. I know
Oh
at
yeah.
least six different groups that research that area. So I try to stay away and do my thing because I don't want to impede on, because you'll hear comments
Yeah.
where, hey, I saw so and so in my area because I caught them on trail cam. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Mess me
I
up.
don't want to step on anybody. Yeah, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Yeah, because if you film another researcher that you know of and he's in your area, you now have to disregard all your evidence. You have to disregard it all. If you hear wood knocks or you hear howls or you hear anything, it could be that research group making those noises and doing those things. So I have to disregard everything. It ruins everything that you just did. So I try to stay away from that, you know.
Okay, I got a couple of interesting statements here. They're not
Sure.
particular questions, but there was a newspaper article in the Ocala newspaper in 1911 of a wild man in a cave. It was Scott Springs in Ocala, and he also backs it up with there were a lot of sightings in Brooksville area in the 1970s. Do you know any of those kind of reports in
Well, I've
Florida?
never heard of the one in Ocala, but I do, and I have a picture of it uh, it's a very famous photo of a Sasquatch in Brooksville. And the reason why I have that particular photo was, God rest his soul, Kerry Arnold. It was one of his favorite photos, and so I always held on to that as in memory of him. But very interesting photo. So Brooksville is up there on the west side, just is it north of Tampa? You know what I mean? But as far as anybody in 1911 and live in a cave, I don't know. I've never heard the story. Like I said, I don't know the Ocala area well enough. Now, Ocala is a beautiful place. There's a lot of rolling hills and a lot of different terrain that I have to deal with down here. Maybe they have caves up there. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm anywhere south of Orlando. So if you take Orlando south, that's pretty much my area. So
Now, David Sedati's up around Ocala, is he not?
no, Dave is in Lakeland. He's outside of Tampa. He's in a place called Lakeland, which is not far from me. So,
Okay.
and I'm hoping that me and Dave Sidoti get together at some point. There's a few researchers in that area. Everybody knows Marie Demont. I've been out with her and her team. Great group. Um, and then you got Sasquatch Origins. Those guys, they're good people, and I've had them on the show, and I would like to get up with them at some point and go up there to the Green Swamp area and stuff like that. I was invited by David just recently to go out to the Green Swamp, but I had something else going on at that time and couldn't pull away. So
David's a good guy. Good guy.
yeah, he's a great guy. He's a fantastic guy. You'll never hear me say anything bad about that guy. He can kick
No.
me in the gonads, and I wouldn't say anything bad about him.
Go ahead, Barry.
Well, I got a question for you, Richard.
Sure.
So when you come up here, now, I know there's a caveat to it, but when you come up, bring a good pair of hiking boots.
Oh yeah.
The terrain up here is a whole lot different. It's hillside, woods, briars, all the stuff that'll stick you and grab you and all that. But there's a thing that we were going to do at the last camp out, me and Icebox. And I think the three of us ought to take a little bit of a walk.
I'll go.
And there's a reason behind it. And I'm not going to tell the audience the reason, but from what I've seen of the area we're camping in and the experiences that we've had there, my wife saw three little ones there in the campground one night. 15 minutes later, saw the female. And that was only the 15, 20-second sight. And it was dark, of course. And the next night we had a big male come in. I did a howl, and he was in the area, and I guess he didn't like the howl that I did. He was a little upset. But the trail that I'm thinking about walking down, it's a really nice trail. It's not a lot of up and down, but it is around the hillside. And I suspect that they're laying in a couple of places along that trail. That trail has been known for quite a long time for sightings of Bigfoot. So I would like to ask you if you wouldn't mind taking a walk with me.
Oh, I'm game for anything while I'm out there.
Okay.
Old Bear to the left of me, Richard to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with
Yeah, you'll be the clown.
Hey, don't think I won't push to open. Ask my wife. Something come out of there. Let's go see what it is.
Why do I
uh,
get the feeling I'm gonna get shoved or something when he turns to run? Why do I get that feeling, Richard?
Well, I always tell them, I had a bad motorcycle accident, a little over, I think it was 2012, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm incapable of running. So the fight and flight, I'm fighting. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do. So running is not in my vocabulary anymore.
Yeah, I
So
that's
understand
good.
that.
That's good to
you
know.
you guys are safe. If you, as long as you can run, you're good. Because I can't. So you know.
Hey, like I tell my wife, I'm a better story. Yeah, I say that now. I'm a better storyteller than you are. So,
Yeah.
yep. Just don't
I
forget it.
got.
I want your truck when you go on. So put me in the wheel.
Yeah.
All right, I am done. Anybody
Well,
got anything? Any more questions from the chat room? That's what we need to know before we get out of here.
yeah.
Well, while you're looking at that, just like I said, if anybody wants to check out my site, it's Bigfoot Florida
Mm-hmm.
Guy on YouTube. We also have Sasquatch Unredacted podcast. We just started in December. Very happy with it. We've had 26 episodes so far, and so we look forward if anybody that wants to subscribe to that channel. And also, since Johnny is also one of the hosts, if you're interested in what he's doing, he's got some great activity that he's been researching on his own property. And so if you go to Sasquatch Encounter Brigade on YouTube and on Facebook, you can keep up with what he's doing there. But like I said, we have Facebook pages for all those channels under the same name. And we just started and we're growing, and we're having a great time. Yeah, just be careful with that Florida Seminole War history. Been a long time since I've seen you. Good to see you, buddy.
It
The
is.
BFFG group. Um, there's another group that goes by the same initials. So try to look up Bigfoot Florida Guy. It'll you'll know it's mine, and same with the YouTube channel. So, but you know,
Let me answer a question for Eric. That is real quick and simple. No.
no werewolves, no
No
werewolves.
werewolves.
I,
Don't
I
want
I
none.
can tell you absolutely nothing, zero about Dogman or anything related to big or werewolves or anything like that. I don't know of any accounts in Florida. I don't I don't I don't get any reports of them in Florida. As long as I've been born and raised here and been out in the woods, I've never come across anything that would let me know that they were there or nothing. So I have literally nothing to say on that matter at all. You know what I mean? What I can tell you is people have experienced it. They say they have, and
Nope.
like I said, I pray it doesn't exist because that's something I would not want to run into in the woods. So, like I said, I stick to one thing, and that's Bigfoot. That's what's on my plate right now. And but I don't know anything. Couldn't give you anything. No information on that whatsoever. I haven't even seen a whole lot of um, re- um, evidence on it either. So
But
we see way more evidence on Sasquatch than we do that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. I don't want to believe in them. I don't care if they are real. Now, being the kind of guy I am, the kind of guy you are, and Bear, I will go out in the woods. So I figure it's best to learn your enemy, get as information that you can. Now, that's not saying that I believe in them. I can even repeat it, but all I want to know is in case I run across one and it is real, I want to know what I need to do. And from what I understand is shoot and fall back. That's all I
yeah.
know.
But
So
there's so many different. Um, it says that
it
needs
is
to
real.
be approved by admin. Is that the hey? Just real quick. Hey, Florida. Is that? Are you talking about the Sasquatch unredacted? Because that one I do have to just go ahead and put it on there. I'll approve it tonight if it's on there. On mine, it's supposed to have me approve, but for some reason it's not doing it. But I'll check it again. So just go ahead and join. And if I see you, I'll definitely put you on there, Florida. Don't worry about it. You know, but
Okay.
like I said, there's mine should be under Bigfoot Florida guy and not BFFG. BFFG just stands for Bigfoot Florida guy. Okay,
Mhm.
but there is another group out there that uses those same initials, and but you know,
He said BFFG Florida guy.
yeah, if it says Bigfoot Florida guy, then that's mine, and if I'll look it up tonight, and I'll make sure you get on there, dude. I will absolutely make sure Seminole War History gets on there. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and if you can't, Florida, try to go into Sasquatch Unredacted or do both of them just in
Yeah,
case,
just
because I know
do
he'd love
both.
to see it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know,
So, well,
Well, um,
and on
all I
my
got back, I
and on
got,
my face, I'm sorry.
go ahead, buddy. No, go
On,
ahead. Go ahead,
on my
Richard.
on my Facebook page, I try to make it interactive. I do some stories.
yeah,
I do some questions that I try to
Hmm.
get people to involve themselves in a conversation. See what I'm saying?
mm,
So I'll do, for example, um, you know, like I'll do a picture of a Sasquatch jumping a creek bed or something like that, and then I'll bring up the question. What kind of supernatural, and when I say supernatural, I'm saying natural ability, just super strength. What are some of the
Hmm.
things that they can do, and your opinion and stuff like that? Or I had a picture of me holding a baby Sasquatch running out of the
yeah,
woods,
yeah.
and I'm like, what would you do in the situation that if you were in the woods and you came across an infant Sasquatch, what would you do? See what I'm saying? People got more upset with the picture than they did to answer the freaking question. I just want to know
Yeah, they
your
did.
opinion. You know what I mean? People get way upset on the pictures. The pictures are just there to as eye candy
Hmm.
for the topic. That's all it is. Quit
Yeah,
criticizing the pictures and just read the question and tell me your opinion on it, because I take all that information, everything that people tells me. I did a picture of Bigfoot. You remember that picture? I
hmm,
posted this picture of Bigfoot. And the way I created that picture was I went back and I wrote down painstakingly all the evidence that I have heard, interviews we've done,
yeah,
everything that all the physical characteristics that everybody mentioned on Sasquatch. Okay, and some I disregarded. Like if I got 100 descriptions and 99 said it was brown, but I got one that says it was white, well, I have to disregard the white. I'm not saying the white one didn't exist, but I'm trying to get a whole picture here. See what I'm saying?
general consensus.
So I took all this information and I put it in an AI program, and I said, take the information that I have presented to you and create an image using this information, blah 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 blah, and it created this photo of Bigfoot that I think is phenomenal. It's an amazing photo.
Yeah, it looked good.
And so I posted it and I said, hey, this is, you know, and I explained the whole situation, how I did the picture. And it's not going to meet everybody's criteria. I put that on it. Everybody sees something a little bit different. I said, but is this close to or not close to what you have seen? Everybody, oh, that's not even close. Mine was this, and then and I'm like, look, I just want a simple, is AI close to what we're describing, or is it not? You know what I mean? But it's a pretty amazing photo. I like it, and so I held on to that one. A lot of them I use and I disregard. I throw them away later.
Well, Richard, the question about the picture that you had where you had the little one running out of the woods with it. Um, I answered that question, and that and my answer was I would turn and run as fast as I possibly could
Yep.
in the direction I just came from. I want nothing to do with that little one because Mama might be real close.
Yeah.
Hmm.
In real life, I mean, the picture shows me running with it in
Mhm.
my arms.
Right,
Yeah.
I would not do that. I would not do that. Okay.
right.
If I saw it, I would document it. I would be filming it, doing whatever,
Hmm.
whatever I could do. But yes, I'm leaving the area because just like bears,
Bye,
moving
Mom.
home, there's something there protecting it. There's somebody there
Yep.
watching. So I'm gonna snap off some video or some photo, and I'm getting out of there. I'm moving on to another area. So or going home. I don't know. But I would not pick it up and run out of the woods like, oh yeah, I'm about to be rich. No.
Right. Right.
I don't know, Gandalf. If he did, he never mentioned that he was from Massachusetts.
Yeah. Nobody said anything.
Yep. Hey, Gandalf, just get in touch with me. Dirt Road Bigfoot. I've got a email. Just go to dirtroadbigfoot@gmail.com. Leave some information to get back in touch with him, and we'll see if he wants to do a show. We'd
Yeah.
love to have him.
We got
Um,
some great guests coming up. Next
who
week
are
is a great guy. I've talked to you about him. His name is Ernie. He's coming on. He's a great guy. Then we're going to take a break because we need a break. And then I got a guy. I'll say it out loud here. I haven't said it on our show yet, but I'll be talking to a guy in Australia. So we'll be talking about the Yowie. So I'm really interested in talking about what they're doing and what's going on and his sightings and stuff like that in Australia. We've got I'm in contact now talking to a guy. He's either is a state trooper or he's a retired state trooper. So I'm going to be in contact with him and setting him up on a show. We got some great guests coming up. I'm booked through November. So if anybody wants to come on and you've had an encounter, let me know. We'll get you in somewhere. So
All right. So before we move on, I want to remind everyone we are doing a camp out. Old Bear is the head host. I have a collaboration with him as a co-host. It starts at October the 2nd. Gandalf, you're welcome to come, but if you just want to stop by, that'd be great to see you. But anyway, we will be there Thursday. Myself, I can't guarantee what time I'll be there, and I will have to leave hopefully to go pick up Richard. But we will be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we will leave there Sunday morning. Sunday morning is usually just pack up and let everybody let's go because I got a long drive. So, and I have to get Richard back to the plane. Hopefully, because I sure don't want him coming to see me at my house. I don't want him to know where I actually live. Anyway. But anyways, if you guys are thinking about it,
he lives in a van down by the river.
the blue one. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, if you're planning on coming, we would really love to have an email or something another from you guys to let us know that you're coming. And the simple reason is because there's going to be quite a few people. We want to know that you are well fed and have a good time. If you're going to eat with a group or you want to do individual thing, that's up to you. It's fine. But if you are going to do a group thing, we really just need to know the numbers that we're going to have. So we make sure everybody's took care of and has a good time and can eat if they want to eat as a group. So please email Bear. I don't have this is not my channel, so you'll have to do it if you want to. I don't have Old Bear's email. Mine is, like I told you a while ago, is Dirt Road Bigfoot. I believe it's all in one word. At gmail.com. Email me or Old Bear, and we'll get you kind of put in the list, and we know what to do after that, to how much food we need to bring.
Yeah. And don't worry, Richard, we're going to make sure that you have all the food that you need to eat or that you want to eat, plus some extras. So,
well, I've been on a diet. I've lost 25 pounds.
well, you're going to gain it back. Sorry.
And, I already told him that'll be my cheat weekend. So.
Mr. Athens is coming to my rescue, so I can't wait to see it. Mr. Athens is going to be there. I'm not going to say what he's doing because he might not want to say right now. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to wait.
Yeah, we're going to wait to see about that. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time.
Yes. I'll just mention bacon. Does that help you, Richard?
Everything is good with bacon.
Well, we're going to have a lot of bacon.
I think you can wrap a turd in bacon and somebody'd eat it.
Don't run it under my nose.
But Richard, I want to thank you for coming on. I've had a really good time. I haven't said a whole lot, but I mean, you're the consummate researcher in my book. You
I
do it the
appreciate
right way, and I applaud you for it. And I just wish more people were like you when it
Mhm.
comes to Bigfoot. Uh, the only way to solve the Bigfoot equation, is to have researchers that look at Bigfoot with an honestly and do what you do. You've got to look at the evidence. If you find just a footprint, don't find nothing else, you know, cast it. I found this print. Okay. You don't know for sure what made it, because, bears can double step. People might be not wearing shoes, and, you know, uh, things happen.
all those
Um,
happen. All those happen.
and, and I just applaud you for what you do. You do a wonderful job. And I, people go to this man's channel, go to Bigfoot Florida Guy,
Yep.
and watch what he puts on there. That is how you should research Bigfoot, and it's the right way to do it. And I mean, that's the greatest praise I can give anyone. You're doing it right, and
No,
and,
I
and I
appreciate
applaud
it.
you for it.
No, I appreciate it. And like I said, it's just trying to be logical about it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, I'm forensic minded. If I can see it, touch it, smell it, hold it, um, film it, that's what I'm interested in. Like I said, can't solve an unknown with an unknown. So just stay focused on what you can prove and what you can
Mm-hmm.
document. Because in the end, if you don't have documentation, even my stories, they are just stories. If you don't
Right.
have documentation, it's just your encounter, just like everybody else's encounter.
Yep.
So, and a lot of times when the encounters happen, we're not filming or we're not doing something at that moment, and we miss it. And that happens to every researcher. We miss it.
Yep.
Something happens right when you get out of the truck. You haven't even had a chance to get your gear ready, and you get a vocal or you get something, and you
Mm-hmm.
get an opportunity to. I had it one time. I was literally could see my vehicle, so I'm shutting everything off as I get into my vehicle, and then I get rock clacking. You know what I mean? And I didn't catch it. And I was like, holy crap. You know what I mean? And as long as I've been doing this, I've only had that happen to me 2 times, rock clacking. So I kicked myself in the butt that I should wait until I'm at my vehicle before I shut things off. And audio needs to be the last thing I shut off.
Right. Right. Well, that's the same as we were up there a couple of summers ago, and I was up way before daylight. I'm an early riser. I usually get up around 4:30. I like
Don't
Spots
call me.
knows this,
Don't call me.
but I go outside, start to build a fire, and heard a noise behind me in the woods, um, and turn around, and there's one standing there looking at me. So I didn't have a phone, I didn't have a camera, I didn't have a recorder, nothing. I'm building a fire just because I'm the only one up, and I'm sitting out there by myself. And, you know, I basically was caught with my pants down. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Well, people
It
have to
made us feel
understand.
bad.
People have to understand with if you right now went and pulled 100 interviews or 100 um, you know encounters from BFRO
Mm-hmm.
or anywhere like that and read them all, you're going to find the one thing that they all have in common. They all were happenstance. The people at the right
Mm-hmm.
place at the right
Yep.
time. But none of them were looking for Bigfoot. None of them were capable at that moment to film it or take a picture or anything like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
happenstance. I'm just trying to put myself into one of those positions of happenstance and happen to be filming or whatever I'm doing at the time. But most encounters is by that person driving down the road and it runs across them, or they're going fishing and it's across the creek, or They're going for a jog down a path, a trail, and it runs in front of them, or it's all happenstance. See what I'm saying? It always catches you off guard, and people need to understand that. That's why video and stuff like that is so difficult. And I don't do blob squatch. I do not
No.
do pixelated photos. You will not see that on my channel. I won't allow it on my Facebook page. If it's not creditable, it's not going to be there. See what I'm saying? We need to get past that. We need to move this ball forward. Period.
Mhm.
Okay. So we need to, and I'm almost to the point where I want to call those people out and say, hey, look, enough's enough. You got to stop that. There's no more this pixelated. You know what they're doing? They're taking a photo, zooming in on it, screenshotting it, zooming in on it, screenshotting it, until it's a leaf. It's actually a leaf, and
Yeah.
they're saying, "Oh, this is a Bigfoot," or this one, or it's a tree stump, or it's all this other stuff. We need to get away from that. We need to move
Right.
forward. You're not a serious researcher or a serious. You don't even have to be a researcher. You're just serious about the subject. Then those other people need to go. They need to move on to something else that they enjoy and quit muddying the waters. Quit muddying the waters for all of us that are serious about this and want to bring out the best evidence, bring out the best guests, bring out the best encounters without all this mud. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
It frustrates me to no end.
Yep. Preach it to the choir. Yep.
That was my rant.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
good
with you.
one.
Yep, that's a good one. I could mention quite a few names, and I'm just not going to do it.
I'm formulating a list. I got a list.
Yeah, don't
I got a
worry.
list.
It'll keep growing. I could.
Oh
There's
yeah.
one recent that was saying something, and no, just.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish YouTube wouldn't exist on kind of ignorance like that. But anyways,
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, I've had a good time. Mary, you got something else?
No, I'm good. Like I said, Richard, just keep doing what you've been doing, buddy. I mean, you're doing a wonderful job at it, and I like the evidence that you put out. And when you get something, you're honest about it. And I just wish more people were like you.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, I don't always get nothing. Sometimes I put out a 30-minute video and I'm honest. I'm like, hey, nothing happened today, but I was out there. But I was out there.
Yeah. Do 30 plus years of chasing these creatures around the mountains of hills and valleys in West Virginia and Ohio and Kentucky and Pennsylvania. And, uh, I never made it to Florida to Bigfoot. But thousands of gallons of gas, many a times being out there for half the night or all night and never hear a thing, never see nothing. People don't understand that, and they just like, well, you ought to be able to go out and get a picture. No, you can't. You can do your best, but it doesn't mean you're going to get a Bigfoot on a picture.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like bird watchers. There's people go out there looking for birds, and how many times they go out there and they don't capture the bird that they're actually out there trying to find. You know what I mean? They got to be at the right place at the right time. This bird flies in, and they get a picture of it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's a red flag for me that if there's somebody who's posting, and every single week or every single time they go out, they've got something. Every single time. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way, and that's a major red flag for me. So, it's work. It's not easy. It's work. This is a tough hobby to have. It's a lot of
expensive,
and it's a lot of walking. It's a lot of hiking, and it's a lot of dealing with weather, and just it's a lot of work. And to go out there to get something is a plus. It's kind of like playing golf. You hit that one good shot, makes you want to play the next hole. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of shitty holes. So, but all of a sudden I get that one good shot and I'm like, I'm going back out tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's how the real world works. So.
Well, I tell people that about our campouts. If you're coming to, try to just see Bigfoot, you're coming for the wrong reason. Come out there and go camping, enjoy nature, have some good food, good people to hang out with. And where else are you going to go to that you can just, hey, let's go Bigfoot hunt? And this place is well known for and has
Hmm.
many stories. It's probably got a legacy about Bigfoot and a few other things. So, it's the anticipation of makes it all worthwhile for me.
Yeah, my thing is that I tell everybody go into it without any expectations at all. That
Yeah.
way, if you don't get anything, then you're good. And if you do get something, just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I mean? And I love nature. I love the woods. So every time I get back in my vehicle and go home, it was a win-win for me.
Yeah.
It was a win-win.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end the show on that note. Uh, thank you both for coming. Thank
No,
you,
thanks
Alex
for
Fox,
having
for
me.
being a co-host
Welcome.
and for being a guest tonight, Richard. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
I
no
really
problem.
do.
Thanks for having me.
All righty. We'll send y'all backstage. Y'all hang on for just a little bit and I'll end the show. Okay?
All
Okay.
right.
Well, everybody, that is Richard Farabee. Go to his channel and to the channel with Johnny Two Bears and subscribe to both of them. And Richard's one of the best researchers out there, in my opinion. Um, you know, uh, he he doesn't pull any punches. He tells you the truth. Go watch him. You might learn something from that man, and I don't think it's a might. I think you will. So each and every one of you, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here for the whole show, and we hope to see you in October at Salt Fort. Come and enjoy yourselves, and may God bless each and every one of you each and every day of your lives. Thank you all for coming. Bye bye.